Okay, good morning, everyone. Today's mitzvah is mitzvah ayin, mitzvah 70 in the Sefer HaMitzvot, the book of mitzvahs of the Chavetz Chaim. Mitzvahs hasei lefreik rebemes chabeiroi hameretzes tachas masa. Positive commandment to unload from a domesticated animal that belongs to someone else who is lying under its burden. Means it had a load put on it and it's too much for it, and because of that, it has either fallen, it's squatting, it's not moving anywhere because of it. Shenemar, and there's a mitzvah, say a positive commandment to unload, basically to unload what it's carrying, to reload it in a way that'll be able to carry it. Shenemar, as it says, Kisira chamar sana achad rebeitz tachas nasa. If you see the donkey of your enemy, Torah specifically talks about an enemy here, which will be discussed later what that means. You see the donkey of your enemy squatting under its load, Azav Tazav Ima, you shall assist with him to get it back up. Now here's a very interesting line in the Chavetz Chaim. This applies even if the load was too much for it. Which means that you see this animal must be too small or too weak to be able to carry this whole load, but the owner insists on trying to get the animal to do it, and I guess it's possible for it to do it. And therefore, you're still obligated, even though it's more than it can carry, which means it's going to fall again. The animal's going to fall again. Nonetheless, you're still obligated to help him to get it going, and whatever happens in the future happens in the future. The obligation to unload has to be free of charge. If we're talking about an elder, a Torah scholar, that it's not appropriate for a person of that status to go loading up animals, it's something for his own animal he wouldn't do. Pater, he's exempt. Now, parak v'ta'an v'chazra v'nafla. Now, let's say you unloaded the animal, reloaded the animal fell again. Chayav lifreik v'litain ait pamacheres. You got to do it again. You got to help the person out again. Even if it takes 100 times. As it says, you shall surely help him. And again, I'm assuming that what this means is that you're doing it 100 times because somehow or another you still see the possibility that it could work. Now, even after you load the animal with the owner, you have to go with him up to a distance called a parsa, basically to make sure that everything's okay. Unless the owner of the animal, the owner of the load says, I don't need you anymore. If at that point he tells you can go, you can go. So that's the first mitzvah here, mitzvah 70 of unloading the load on your friend's animal when it's bearing down too much on the animal, and the animal falls because of it. Now let's do the next mitzvah, mitzvah ayin aleph, mitzvah 71. Mitzvahs aseh l'ta'onim chaver l'hakim hamas al behema oyalon. It's a positive commandment to load with, again, one's friend, to set a burden, to load the animal. Or if, let's say, it's a person who's holding a load and the load falls off, help them get it back on. So before I had the mitzvah to unload, now's the mitzvah to load. Shenemar, as it says, Hakim takim imay, you shall lift it up with him. Now let's say you saw all this, you just went on your way, you didn't help the person. Bittul mitzvah saseh, you disobeyed this positive commandment. An elder, Torah scholar, that's beneath him, it's not befitting for his honor to help, to do this kind of work, is exempt. But if, let's say, it's a kind of situation where if this would have been your animal, you would have done it yourself, then you got to help somebody else do it too. If the Talmud Chacham, if the Zak and the elder wants to go beyond the letter of the law, he can load or he can unload or load even if it's beneath his honor. The Sefer bracha, and a blessing shall come upon him for doing so. Here's the scenario. You've got two animals. One animal needs to be unloaded, the other animal needs to be loaded. Prika kaidam, unloading comes first. Why? Because clearly the other animal is in distress. And we have a mitzvah to alleviate a living thing suffering, to alleviate an animal suffering, not to cause an animal suffering, to alleviate its suffering. Therefore, in this case, where it's a question of loading or unloading clearly in the case of unloading the animals under distress, it's going to come first to helping the other person get the load back on. But let's say the person who needs for the animal to be loaded on is what's called a saini. It's called your enemy, which will define what that means. And the other person who needs the unloading, which again, this animal's under is in distress. But that person is someone that is your friend. Mitzvah litoin emasayne betchila. Then the Torah tells us a mitzvah to load the animal of the person who's your enemy first, in order to overpower your evil inclination. Evil inclination tells you not to deal with this person, and it's better to get to him first, to go right away to overcome the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, who's trying to push you away from this person, and to take care of him first, again, to overcome your evil inclination, even though the animal is in distress. Now, this enemy, this person that you spot, that you hate, despise, what are we talking about here? What does this mean? The answer is Shira'ohu levadoi shavar amera. You witnessed this person commit a sin. He did it intentionally. The Hisrabai, you warned him, told him not to do it. V'loi chazar. And he didn't back off. Meaning he was about to do the sin, you warned him not to do it, and he did it anyway. You have now permission to actually dislike the person. Now, this person, again, we'll see, the Afal PK, nonetheless, you should still, whether it be load or unload, help him out. Why? Because perhaps he's going to be waiting around to take care of his money. And he may fall into danger. There's no question that you're supposed to help him. Being that he believes in the main principles of our faith, you're obligated to still protect him, to save him from any physical harm. And therefore, although you are disliking this person, and you may dislike this person for what he did, nonetheless, and that would be pushing you to say, I'm not going to bother with this guy. The Torah still says, no, do that, help that person out and help them out first to load, even though there's another animal in distress that needs to be unloaded. Because it's more important that you immediately get to overcoming your evil inclination, which is for the purposes of protecting this person from danger, which, again, you're obligated to, although you saw him intentionally sin, you warned him, he didn't listen, therefore you're allowed to dislike the person, because, again, he's intentional and he was warned, and he still did it. That's what he intentionally warned him, he still did it. Nonetheless, as long as he's still believing in the primary principles of our faith, he hasn't abandoned those principles intentionally. He's a person who's obligated to save, and leaving him unassisted is leaving him in a situation of danger. Te'ina, loading an animal. Dafka im mishalom lo'isachar avur zeh. You're only obligated, he'll pay you for it. But for free, but without charge, you're not obligated to help him load. And these two mitzvahs of unloading and loading, they apply in all places at all times, by both men and by women. Have a great day. Yeah.